Good afternoon. Welcome to ZTN News Blitz. Let's take a look at our top stories. Zimbabwe's monthly consumer basket rises twice in a week. Teachers in Zimbabwe vow not to return to work. Relief for imbibers in SA as alcohol sales resume. And in sport, Dortmund star Sancho equals 31-year record. Barely a week after Zimbabwean consumers woke up to the news that the country's cost of living had risen by 5%, today the same consumer basket went up again by 1,500 Zimbabwe dollars. A low-income urban family of 6 now needs 8,700 Zim dollars to take it through the month. And consumer watchdog Consumer Council of Zimbabwe attributed this to price movements, unstable parallel market exchange rates, increase in fuel prices, limited supply of basic products, and panic buying by consumers because of the COVID-19 lockdown. This comes as the yearly inflation came in at 765.57% in April, marking a rise of 89.18% points compared to the earlier month when it was at 676.39. According to the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency, the month-on-month April inflation stood at 17.64%, down by 8.95 percentage points. In what is expected to dig deep into already strained Zimbabwe consumers' pockets, the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority, ZIMRA, has announced that all goods, including groceries sent to Zimbabwe by individuals based in South Africa, will now attract import duty. In the past, these goods benefited from a $200 equivalent traveler's rebate, but the latest ZIMRA notice states that a traveler's rebate will no longer apply to goods which are not accompanied by owners. The development is widely seen by market watchers as a measure to boost dwindling revenue streams in lockdown and punish runners who were smuggling goods from neighboring countries. Teachers in Zimbabwe maintain that schools should remain closed as long as the novel coronavirus is not yet under control. Zimbabwe has recorded 178 COVID-19 cases and 4 deaths. The government has said reopening schools will be done in a phased approach, with examination classes being prioritized. But Progressive Teachers Union of Zimbabwe Secretary General Raymond Majongwe says schools should only be opened once the safety of both teachers and learners is guaranteed.
No government can proceed and do what it wants, but as long as they think that they can railroad us into coming back to work, we'll put ourselves to test. They are free to offer threats, but we are not going to be moved because it's our life at stake here.
Zimbabwe Teachers Association Chief Executive Sifiso Ndlovu says a lot still needs to be done before reopening can be considered.
This is not a question of teachers wanting to go back or refusing to go back. It's a question of life, it's a question of health, it's a question of security and safety of the learner and the teacher. And that is an issue which parents of the children who must come to school must answer. As far as teachers are concerned, they are working with the employer in finding out ways of mitigating the safety challenges that we are likely to face, and also the issue of health protocols that we must follow. So speaking therefore on that issue, we want to advise that this should not be an issue of them against those or them against us. It's an issue which we must find a common ground and a secure common ground.
Now, following a series of measures by the country's monetary and fiscal authorities, Zimbabwe's exchange rate seems to have stabilized amid indications that the domestic unit is tinkering around $56 to the greenback on the parallel market. The last month had seen the domestic unit, whose official rate is fixed at 25 to 1 against the US dollar, losing ground on the parallel market and peaking at as high as $73 to the American dollar. But to mitigate this, the central bank tightened laws around electronic money, which they believed was being exploited in illegal currency trading. As of this morning, the street rate was trading at an average of $56 to the greenback. And our correspondent Daka Majaka gives us more.
The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe says it's going to be carrying out ambush raids on the black market in a move anticipated to stop the free fall of the Zimbabwe dollar. After peaking at an alarming 76 Zim dollars for the greenback, the Zimbabwe dollar is now trading at 56 Zim dollars to the dollar. The Reserve Bank has also moved in to curb transactional limits on all mobile money transactions, which they believed were fueling the black market rate. It remains to be seen if all these measures will be successful in curbing and maintaining a stable exchange rate in Zimbabwe. Meanwhile, the country's $20 note is expected to start circulating this week.
It is my job to declare the town open. Gentlemen, I don't think we want to waste any talk on it. I make the declaration now. There is plenty of whiskey and soda inside, so come in. These were the words of Dr. Leander Starr Jameson, the administrator for Matabeleland, on the 1st of June in 1894 on the occasion to declare Bulawayo a town. Zimbabwe's second largest city turns 126 years today. According to historian Patisa Nyati, the town of Bulawayo was founded in 1894 after the defeat of the Ndebele army in what is popularly known as the Ndebele Uprising. In 1897, the new town of Bulawayo acquired the status of municipality, with Colonel Harry White becoming the first mayor. And in 1943, Bulawayo became a city. Well, a little something for history enthusiasts. We head to South Africa, where South Africans will from today be able to buy alcohol for the first time in 2 months as the government eases one of the toughest lockdowns in the world. The alcohol ban was introduced to enable the police and hospitals to better focus on tackling the coronavirus. Alcohol can now be sold from Monday to Thursday, only for consumption at home. The ban was introduced at the start of the lockdown in order, above all, to free up hospital beds and also to reduce domestic violence. Domestic violence is a problem in South Africa, particularly at the weekends, and doctors and police say the ban has had a dramatic impact, contributing a sharp drop in casualty and admissions. But the country's brewers and the winemakers have complained that they're being driven out of business and that the government has lost a fortune in tax revenues. Now, 31 Kenyan prisoners have been transferred to health facilities in the capital, Nairobi, after testing positive for coronavirus. They were amongst 59 other inmates who underwent mass testing after completing 21 days in quarantine, where they had been admitted after court appearances. Prisons Commissioner General Wycliffe Ogalo said they had taken preventive measures to stop the spread of the virus within the 129 correctional facilities across the country. Kenyan prisons are known to be overcrowded, and the government recently released 11,000 prisoners held for minor offences in order to prevent the spread of the virus in prisons. Let's take a look at what's happening in sport, starting with cricket. The Zimbabwe Lady Chevrons are certainly not the powerhouses in cricket, but they have done enough to be counted. In an exclusive interview with ZTN, all-rounder Chipo Mugejeri Tiripano gives us her thoughts on the toughest opponents.
We don't get as many opportunities to play against the big teams such as England, Australia and the likes of India. So I would pick South Africa because we have played South Africa several times and we never won any game against their full squad.
To get the rest of that interview, do tune into Sports Daily coming up shortly after this. Now moving on to football, England's Jordan Sanchez, the first English player to score an overseas hat-trick in one of Europe's major leagues for 31 years. The 20-year-old scored the first hat-trick of his career on his first start since the Bundesliga resumed, as Borussia Dortmund thrashed Paderborn 6-1. After scoring his first goal, Sancho took off his shirt to reveal a Justice for George Floyd t-shirt. That action did get him yellow carded. That's all we had for you on News Blitz this afternoon. We're back again tomorrow. For more of ZTN programming, do visit our website ztn.co.zw and our other social media platforms. Thank you for watching.